Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jared Lee, and I'm joined, as usual, by my lovely wife, Jamie Lee. So, Jamie, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, Jared. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Lovely.
Happy Mother's Day to you, or late, but I mean, I told you on the day of. But happy Mother's Day to you and all the moms out there. Hopefully, had a nice day or weekend.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Special. You gotta celebrate the moms.
Well, that is the point of Mother's Day, I believe. But
True.
you know, then now yours. We went out to eat one of your favorite places, Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, we really. Okay, so
By the way, this was your choice.
It was suggested by my dad because we were kind of like looking around at different places that were offering like a Mother's Day brunch or a special menu at a certain place, and everything was it's just so expensive. It just, even if it's like a place that's not super expensive, they jack up the prices on the holidays like they do on like a Valentine's Day and stuff. So I was like, oh, I don't really want to spend like more money just because it's Mother's Day. So I was like, let's just go to Cracker Barrel. It's like 15 minutes down the road. You know, we know we like it. The kids will eat there. Like, everybody likes it. So it was a great suggestion, and I'm glad we went. And, you know, the places that offer the brunch for Mother's Day, I'll go there some other time when it's not as expensive.
I do hate how they do that. It's like they limit. Valentine's Day. It's like, oh my gosh. So it's like, we have a limited menu for you where you don't get to choose what you want, and it's more expensive. And you're like, oh, that's great.
Right.
But
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, obviously, I think somebody told me, I don't know if it's true, but at one point, Mother's Day either is the biggest day for restaurants or the one of the biggest days for restaurants.
I think it is the biggest for most.
Yeah, it would make sense.
So like most other like major holidays like Christmas or Thanksgiving or like those they're closed. Like a lot of restaurants are closed on those days.
Right.
But I talked to a girl that worked at Cracker Barrel. She said that this past year, Thanksgiving was their biggest day because they're open on Thanksgiving and a lot of places aren't. So it was like,
well, and their food's
like
very
packed.
like homemade Thanksgiving-like type thing. Yeah. Although I don't think on Thanksgiving Day, I don't think I've ever eaten out. I don't think. Nor Christmas Day. Now, Christmas Eve, we would always go out to eat like at a Chinese restaurant.
Always. Yep.
But I mean, like Christmas Day and Thanksgiving Day, I don't think I've ever been to a restaurant. But we used to go to movies on Christmas. Was it Christmas or Thanksgiving?
I always did Christmas.
It was Christmas.
Yeah.
We haven't since we've had kids because, you know, a little more difficult. But
eventually we'll be able to do that again.
Well, and when there's good movies to see, maybe.
True. Oh, hey, that makes a difference too.
Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll just, I don't know. But anyways, hopefully everybody had a nice Mother's Day.
Yeah.
When's Father's Day? I don't even know.
It is the third Sunday of June. Let's see. It's 1st, 8th, 15th. It's like the 16th.
Okay.
I want to say it's the 16th of June. Am I right on that? Let's see. 14th. Yes. June 16th.
Okay. Well, there we go. I wasn't even sure.
Yeah.
So, there we go.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're not going to just talk about Mother's Day here. So we do have some news we're going to talk about today, including we're recording this actually on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
But that Tiana's Bayou Adventure has an opening date.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of funny how it was announced, but we're going to talk about that. Yeah. And then we have, Jamie has a poll time this week, of course. And we have our discussion this week, which is our Animal Kingdom tier list. So the tier lists are always, I think a lot of people like it, and a lot of times people disagree with us, which is fine.
So fine.
But not going to change my mind necessarily. But yeah, we're going to have a tier list about where we're going to put the Animal Kingdom rides. So we'll talk about all three of them.
Yes. There is more than that.
Thought you were just going to go.
When you said three, I thought you were going to say like all of them, but you said all three.
All three rides.
Caught me off guard.
All three rides in Animal Kingdom we're going to talk about. So, but before we get to the news, just want to remind everybody, if you're watching us on YouTube over at CTM Podcast, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. And if you're not, and if you want to, you can watch us over there at CTM Podcast on YouTube. If you're listening to us on just good old-fashioned trusty audio podcast, we greatly appreciate that. And ask you please subscribe to wherever you listen and leave us a review. We would greatly appreciate it and help us continue to grow this show. And if you want even more content, you want to contribute to the show, or just want to check out more things that we have to offer, you can go to Club 32, and that's our private group where it's kind of like our own Patreon. We just host it on our own end where we have more content. We have Cool Kids Kitchen, which we made the hummingbird cake last week, which was delicious.
So good.
Which is from Homecoming. We have the Club 32 live stream, which we just got done doing before this. Every Tuesday, we go live and hang out. Now we're doing trivia on those nights. So Jamie has about 10 trivia questions. Gets a little competitive, which is fun. So we're
fun.
Yeah, we're doing that now. And then we also have the Clubhouse, which is starting here this month, where some Club 32 members become part of the show. And who knows what it'll turn into? Maybe it'll turn into fighting. Who knows?
Shenanigans. That's what it'll be.
Shenanigans. I haven't heard that word in a long time. We also have a private podcast feed. We have in-park live streams. Every once in a while, we have, when there's things to talk about in the parks. We have room tours of the hotels we stay at and music loops. There's 20% off of CTM apparel and 1901 Candle Company products, a private Facebook group, and a lot more. So if you want to check that out, you can go to ctmvip.com. We have monthly or yearly options. And you can even do a free trial if you like. And Club 32 allows us to review, the food items and some of the parties. It just allows us to do more content for the show and let you guys know, if things are worth spending your money on when you go to the parks. So that's kind of the whole point of the club there. So again, if you want to join there, you go to ctmvip.com and go check that out. So, all right, let's talk about our first news story we have, which is the heralded news of today. I don't know if it'd be different. Probably different on Thursday when this comes out because Disney likes to release things on Thursdays. But
they do.
The main news story we have is that Tiana's Bayou Adventure is officially opening on June 28th. And they made the announcement I don't think they meant to make the announcement when they made it. I think they were trying to do something different.
They put out a like a little blurb everywhere that said that the major announcement is coming to American Idol tonight, and that was on Mother's Day, and everyone's like, okay, it's Tiana, because all the art that was with it said Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I'm like, oh, they're gonna announce when it's opening. So we're like, okay, great. 2 hours later, an hour later maybe, the press release was released on Walt Disney World News that was saying, oh, it's gonna open on June 28th. We're like, oh, okay, so don't watch American Idol. Like it was weird. So that was up for a little bit. Then they took it down. So either it's an accident or maybe they put it up at 9 a.m. instead of 9 p.m.
That's still an accident.
Still an accident. But anyway.
I think they somebody came in and go, you ruined the synergy.
No.
They're like, what?
It's just funny like when that happens. But anyway, that night after American Idol and everything, they released the information, June 28th.
It was such a synergy. They used that word. Somebody used it too, like a synergistic approach. I'm like, that was such a buzzword in like the early 2000s. Terrible word.
Here's what Disney is saying about the ride. It says, the ride will take guests on a musical adventure picking up after the events of Walt Disney Animation Studios' film The Princess and the Frog. You'll join Princess Tiana on an adventure through the bayou as she prepares to host a one-of-a-kind celebration during Mardi Gras season where everyone is welcome. Along the way, you will see some familiar faces, make new friends, and travel through the bayou and to the next chapter of Tiana's story. Tiana's Bayou Adventure will also feature original music and some familiar tunes from the beloved movie and so much more, including an incredibly thrilling 50-foot drop.
What?
So
they added a drop?
I think it's always been there.
Oh.
Beginning June 28th, they will have merchandise based on the movie and the ride and will be available at the Emporium, and then quickly move over to Critter Co-op soon after. And so Critter Co-op, if you're not familiar, they used to have a store like right by the front of Splash Mountain, like right to the right side of where you see the drop come down.
Oh, I was thinking you said right side. I thought you meant yeah. Okay, it's to the left there with the entrance, but right of the drop.
Yeah, so like I'm sure they'll still have the gift shop maybe in the back, like where you exit out of it, but that the one will be in front as well. So if it's been closed for a long time.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. But anyway, so that'll be there, and then they have an on-ride photo that'll be available, and they themed it to Tiana's, obviously. Tiana's famous beignets will be available at Golden Oak Outpost in Friar's Nook for a limited time when the ride opens. And during the initial opening, a virtual queue will be utilized along with Genie Plus Lightning Lane. No standby will be available, and it's not using individual Lightning Lane. So
they did say they anticipated shortly after, though, that the event would go to standby. I don't think they're anticipating it being virtual queue very long.
Right. This was just a temporary thing. I think maybe throughout the summer they may keep it. Or I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see the wait times on this because I've kind of said all along. I think there will be a lot of people obviously that want to ride it because it's new, but then it's kind of new. It's a it's a theme over of an older ride, so there's not that like mystery about it as much as people just want to see the new animatronics and the story with it and things like that.
Yeah.
But it is a water ride, which notoriously that doesn't lend itself to like some people just don't want to get wet.
Right.
Myself included. I don't really like getting wet on rides too much.
Right.
So yeah, I'll be curious how the wait times look, come August, September. I kind of feel like they're going to be what Splash Mountain used to be just all the time eventually. Just going to settle back down into just what it has always been.
I mean, I remember Splash during the summer. I mean, it would still get up into the 90 minutes.
Oh, for sure it could. Yeah.
So,
that's what I'm saying. The summer months for sure, but once it gets, in the cooler months, it's probably, sometimes that would be just a complete walk on.
Oh yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
So they did announce a lot of previews happening basically throughout almost the entire month of June. So first of all, annual pass holder previews are going to be June 13th, 14th, 17th, 18th, and 20th. They are going to be using a virtual queue there as well. They did put out an email saying how to do this. You have to have a park reservation for the 7 a.m. drop. Those days are now sold out for Magic Kingdom. The 28th is also sold out for Magic Kingdom. So if you do want to do this, you can still, if you're a pass holder, you can still make a park reservation for other park, and then you can hop over to Magic Kingdom by that 1 p.m. drop and grab your lightning lane or grab your virtual queue.
This is an interesting way to do it. They've never done it this way. They've always had reservations that you would get, but then again, it was always a mess. I'm wondering if they're just trying to limit, because there was always people complaining about, like, and even people in our group were saying they didn't get the email about how this was going to go, and the park reservations are already gone.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're just avoiding. Inevitably, there would always, the links would go out on social media before many people would get the email, and then people would say, I didn't even get a chance, and they're already gone.
Yeah.
You're never going to make all the APs happy, but maybe they're just thinking this is more fair, I suppose, to have a virtual queue the day of. But again, it's another virtual queue you got to try for, and then So,
yep.
The thing about the virtual queues though is I've always just thought I don't like about them is you cannot plan your day.
Right. I mean, you can't play until 7 a.m.
Well, yeah, and it's like either you're going to be like first thing in the morning, or if you get later, it's going to be the evening. So it's like, I don't think a lot of people like that aspect of their vacation being that way. Now, granted, for annual pass holders, maybe a little bit different here, but in general, I think that's the biggest limitation on virtual queues versus how it used to be.
Well, there's some people that if you read the, fine print, it doesn't say you can only do this once. It says you can join the virtual queue once a day.
Right.
So there's some people that made park reservations for every day, like if they're locals, every day during these previews, and they're probably going to try to ride it as much as they can. In that respect,
I tried to treat you all as adults, but obviously I am the only adult here.
Okay. Obviously, I don't know if I like that. I think maybe just once for a preview would be good, but that's neither here nor there. So DVC members can also pre-register to preview the attraction on June 12th between 1 and 4 p.m. or June 19th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And they have to do registration the old-fashioned way for that. So I don't know why they're...
That's the thing that makes me get one way for DVC, one way for AP. It's like, it just seems very disjointed.
I'm just like, okay, what's better? Cast members will have a special preview. Magic Kingdom cast members will have a special preview day on June 2nd. This is technically the first previews that will be for those Magic Kingdom cast members. The remaining Walt Disney World cast members, or Florida cast members as they call them, will preview the attraction June 3rd through 7th. And then there are some D23 events on June 22nd. There's one at Disney Springs, and there's one at Magic Kingdom. But I'll put all that information in the show notes. So lots of previews. Lots of previews for a theme over attraction.
Yes. Well, they're going to make a big deal about this because this, like I've been saying for a while, this is, after this opens, there's nothing else coming that has been announced.
The docket looks pretty
so
pretty blank.
They're gonna make a big deal. I will be genuinely curious how, the Disney crowd itself, I think a lot of people it's mixed. I think it's pretty mixed. You have some people that like loved Splash Mountain and are mad about this, and some people that I guess are the opposite. They probably rode Splash Mountain, they want to act like they hated it, and now they love it. I don't know. Either way, I'll be curious to see how this goes with people and what it'll look like. I really do think eventually it's just going to settle back into I think most people will call it Splash. That'll be the funny thing too, is like, what do people end up calling this? Like, in the park. I think a lot of people are just going to call it Splash just because that's what it was.
I mean, I probably will, just because, I still call it MGM sometimes. Yeah. It's Hollywood Studios, and it's been that way for a while. So, yeah, I probably will just out of habit. Yeah.
Yeah. But then it leads to, one would assume at D23 this year that they have some, one would assume at least a few announcements.
Yeah.
Coming. But yeah, so.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to do it on June 13th, the preview then, because we already planned on being there anyway. So hopefully we'll get a virtual queue and all that stuff.
Where's your excitement, anticipation level for this? Is it high? Are you glad it's? I mean, how are you looking at it?
So I'm excited to have a new type of, like, I'd say newer-ish attraction. I liked Splash. So giving that up for this, I hope this like lives up to my expectations, I guess. I guess you say that with anything. But I'm hoping it'll be beautiful and the music will be great. The animatronics will be great. So, it doesn't match my excitement that I had for Cosmic Rewind.
Right.
Because again, brand new attraction, a thrilling roller coaster. This I've already rode. It was zippity doo dah instead of almost there. So anyway,
right.
I guess it's like a mid excitement, like not super, not at all.
I kind of feel like that's where most people are at. It's just very mid. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I never saw Splash Mountain was, I guess, loosely based on Song of the South. I never saw that movie.
I didn't either.
I have not seen Tiana. So both of these I don't know the movie reference off of. I'm aware of Tiana. Yeah. So either way, I hope the animatronics are nice, but I can't say I'll be honest, if the virtual queue that day, other than we wouldn't be able to talk about the ride on the show, personally speaking, I would just be like, oh, okay. Like, I liked Splash, but I wasn't like again, I'm not a big I don't like huge drops, and not a huge drop, but I'm not like a big water ride person to begin with. So
yeah,
I mean, in terms of being able to talk about it on here and give our thoughts, sure, but you know, I'm not. I agree. I think something like a Guardians, Cosmic Rewind, or when Rise of the Resistance open, things like that. I think there's way more anticipation for those versus this. So I'm actually way more curious about the drone show they're doing at Disney Springs, if I'm being honest.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, that's supposed to debut, I think it's during Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, I'm curious as to how, if it's going to be a big show, if it's just going to kind of be a little have they said, they haven't released really any details, have they?
The only thing I've seen is they're putting in the sensors or cameras or something on the lawn, setting up for that. So that's all I've seen.
Yeah. Because I think drone shows are going to become much more of a common thing in theme parks. So I am very curious as to if they're just doing a little bit 5-minute little thing, 10-minute little thing.
Oh, I don't know how long it is. I have no idea.
I know. Because if you look at over Universal and some other places, they're doing some pretty elaborate ones. So yeah. And if it goes well, does it make its way into Animal Kingdom?
I don't know. That'll be interesting. Yeah, if they use it.
I guess Epcot, it would work if it's over water, because they're not going to do it over people.
You can't do it over people.
So, Epcot would make a lot of sense. Animal Kingdom would make sense.
Yeah.
Hollywood Studios, not really. I don't know how you would do it there.
Yeah, you could do it over Rivers of Light Theater.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe those two, but I don't see Hollywood Studios. But
Anyway.
All right. Well, that's hopefully if you want to ride Tiana's, if you didn't get a park reservation, you can always hop over and try your luck.
If you're an AP, yes.
Yes, if you're an AP. You can play the virtual queue bingo or lottery. Yeah. I guess we'll go to lottery.
Otherwise, if you go during open day, just be ready to, if you don't get that virtual queue, you have someone else buying a Genie Plus. That's all I got to say.
True. It's very true. All right, we do have some more news, but Jamie's poll time this week is related to Tiana. So we figured, well, now we'll do the poll time since it makes sense with this topic. So Jamie has a poll time now.
Poll time. All right, I asked the question this week for poll time. Now that we have an opening date for Tiana's Bayou adventure, have you changed your travel plans to Walt Disney World because of that? Let's see. 90% said, no, I'll just ride it when I take my already planned next trip. 6% said I'll be attending one of the previews for DVC members, cast members, or annual pass holders. And then 2% that said they weren't sure. 1% said, yes, I want to be there for opening day or close to it. And 1% said, yes, I do not want to be there for when it opens. So that 1%'s like, nope, give me away. So nobody's like adjusting their travel plans based on when it's opening. And that's pretty much the sentiment I got from the comments too. Like there's some people who are like, oh, I leave June 26th, so I'll just have to catch it next time. Like nobody is like extending their trip farther just to ride it. And I think if it was a brand new attraction, like we were just talking about, I think maybe people feel differently.
I mean, Tangled. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I have a cough. So sorry. I wonder what that would look like though if somebody, speaking of, who said that? That if they put a Tangled ride in, I wonder what that would do.
Oh, I can't even. Take me to Tokyo, Jared. Take me to Tokyo. But anyway, so I think, most people are definitely just like, I'll ride it next time I go and no big deal. So but I just want to get an idea.
Again, the ride itself isn't different, like the way it works. It's just the stuff around it. So the music and the animatronics and things like that. So I feel like most people understand that. And the 90% say, I'll just ride it when I take my next planned trip, I think lends to that. I think people are just like, I know what this is. Like, I'll check it out when I come back, but I'm not going to make a special trip for something that you know what to expect.
Right.
So that's why I feel like it's very similar to Moana Journey of Water in that how Disney is going to hype it up. I mean, again, they're going to hype up their own rides, but I feel like maybe Disney's doing like a house flipping show, like on HGTV. They should have done this for like every time they run into problems. Like, guys, the animatronics, they're not here. And they're like, oh, what are we going to do? We're ruined. And then like commercial break and then totally fine.
You're right. This
Problem
is like
solved.
ride flippers.
Yeah, ride flippers. Ride flippers. Theme over. They call it theme over and they go back to back. Iger and Diamaro back to back looking at the camera. They got theme over.
No, theme flippers. They flip that theme. Oh my gosh,
flippers,
Jared.
Yeah. Today we're
That's
theming.
a genius idea.
We're re-theming an old attraction this week. But there's problems off the bat. Josh Diamaro is going, Bob, what's wrong, Josh? I don't like it's because those all things are made up for the thing anyways. Like the contractors aren't here yet. And they're like, it's only 8 a.m. Okay, never mind. Like, it's just all these made-up issues that aren't real.
Extreme theme over Magic Kingdom edition. Remember Home edition?
Do the
or
bus
whatever it was?
reveal. Move that bus. They're like, what's different? We changed the stuff inside of it. Like, oh, okay, cool. But again, I feel like that's kind of what we have here. And Disney's going to be like, it's a brand new house. You're like, well, okay. Like, it's newish. Pretty sure I've seen that house before. It's just a little different, but
oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay.
I just have it in my head, him and Bob Iger back to back, just crossed arms with like a oh geez, what have we got ourselves into this time?
Yep.
I only know that because your mom watches those shows all the time, and every time they're on, I'm just like, I know exactly what's going to happen.
Well, we found a problem with the HVAC. What are we going to do about
and they
this?
always do the zoom in on the guy. He's like, I am completely financially ruined.
Right.
Like,
and then
all of a sudden, like 2 minutes later, it's like they don't even talk. I'm like, wait, I thought he was done for. Like, oh, it just turns out that the light switch just didn't. Nobody turned it on. You're like, oh, okay.
No.
All right. Well, that's it for the poll time. If you want to be part of the next poll time, that was a long segue to get on the poll time. You can do it in two ways. You can go to the Capture the Magic Facebook community, where Jamie posts those over there, and you can also join over on Instagram at Cap the Magic, and Jamie posts those in the stories over there. And on Instagram, you get funny, memes and reels and show clips. So
it's true.
We
do that over there.
Pretty good ones, I think. Anyways,
back to news.
we need a segment for that.
dun, 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 dun. Like that. Like a
no,
sound effect like
no, that was nothing like I had in mind. But
that sounds news-like.
You are just like the guy from Police Academy.
Stop
Uncanny.
it. You know that half our audience is like, what are you talking about?
Have you guys? Probably,
Who?
just go watch Police Academy.
What
the guy that
movie?
makes sound effects, and you'll be like, wow, how does he do that? That's Jamie.
I hate you right now.
It's a compliment.
You're mean.
I'm not being mean. It's a compliment.
You're being sarcastic.
That's my love language. Anyways.
Yep.
All right. Well, we do have some more news. The first news story we have of the second half of the show, after our commercial break from theme hoppers.
No, theme flippers.
Sorry, theme flippers.
Theme flippers.
Extreme theme flippers.
Same theme over. Ride edition.
With Bob and Josh.
With Bob and Josh.
More details have been revealed about the new DVC tower that is coming to the Polynesian, apparently.
Yes. It is called the Island Tower.
The island.
Right.
I don't know why I
Thank
said it
you.
that way. I'm sorry.
And it's projected to open December of 2024. DVC members can make reservations first, beginning June 4th. Annual pass holders can start on June 5th. Take note that these are only cash room reservations for now. Point charts for rooms will be available at a later time, which means you cannot use your points to rent this initially.
That makes no sense to me.
I don't know why.
It's like, we're building a DVC hotel. Oh, fantastic. I'm a DVC member. Can I book it? No.
No, you can.
Well, okay.
Let
me
with
rephrase
your
that.
money.
Let me rephrase that.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, great. I can use my points to book here. No. Cash only. Why
Okay.
would you do this?
They said initially, the initial.
I know, but I don't understand the whole initial thing. It's so weird to me.
I don't know. I don't know the reason. Maybe they just aren't ready for that part. I don't know.
Like, guys, our
But,
system can't handle points right now.
I mean, the room types in this 10-story tower will be duo studios, which are like the two people studios, like the towers in Riviera and the duo studios in Disneyland. 1-bedroom villas, 2-bedroom villas, and 2-bedroom penthouse villas.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Of course, that's always where I stay.
Okay. No deluxe studios will be in this building, which makes sense because those are all in the existing buildings. The existing buildings only have studios, so they're not going to build some more.
They didn't want the peasants in there.
How dare you?
Like,
They still have the bungalows, obviously, that are out there. But with the 2-bedroom villas, a 2-bedroom penthouse, there's lots of 2-bedroom situations.
This is true.
At Polynesian.
This is true.
And this is quoted from Disney. It says, inside the lobby, you'll be greeted by an art panel installation on the ceiling inspired by several Polynesian islands, showcasing wildlife native to each locale. Each animal holds a strong connection to the islands and symbolizes values important to Polynesians. Walt Disney Imagineering collaborated with over a dozen artists from around the world to create unique artworks that will be displayed throughout the resort. From preserved moss walls to sculptures made from recycled fishing nets, each piece will be inspired by the spirit of conservation and embody the rich cultures of Polynesia. I didn't mess up once on that.
Good job.
I'm so happy with myself. I looked at the concept art of this, and it was very. I saw like a lot of champagne looking colors, not a lot of dark woods like the old, I guess say the old Polynesian looks like. Across the internet, there's a lot of people that are kind of upset by that. They're kind of upset by this this new design.
Well,
but
it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, it looks nice, but it doesn't.
I think it looks beautiful.
It doesn't look Polynesian.
I completely disagree.
In terms of Disney's Polynesian, I mean, I'm not saying the Polynesian culture. I mean what they currently have. It doesn't resemble that.
So my question is, do you want a 1970s Polynesian in this new tower? Is that what you want, like a 1970s vibe?
I'm at the point now where I want older is better.
Okay, I see.
Reject modernity. So that's where I'm at.
So they should have done.
That's exactly where I'm at.
They should have done a retro Polynesian theme for the tower.
I think that would look awesome if you did like a modern retro theme.
Modern retro.
I think it would look better. I mean, again, it looks nice. I'm not saying it doesn't look nice. I just don't think it looks Disney Polynesian in terms of what they currently have in the history of it.
Yeah, again, concept art is hard to tell, but once we see it in person, I'll be able to make a better conclusion about it, but I think it looks beautiful. I did notice something in the concept art that's changed. I don't know if it's just because it's not like the focus of the concept art, but the old art showed this like infinity pool.
It did.
Right by the building, and the new one shows just a regular old pool. Like,
well, Bob and Josh from Extreme
So-
Theme Overs were like, guys, got to cut the budget here.
well,
Can't be doing infinity pools all over the place.
but like it's cut off. It's on the side of the picture. I don't know if like they just did that as not part of the focus of the the actual tower. I'm sure we'll get more information about the pool eventually, but I did notice that, and I was like, huh, there is a missing infinity pool.
Well, Disney has a history of cutting back on what initially was revealed or said was going to happen.
I hope this is not the case.
I have a feeling this is the case.
Don't say that.
I mean, they also looked like way more glass in the
Hey,
initial one, too.
Did you notice that what also was missing? People. They had no people in the concept art. It was just building.
Well,
grass.
that doesn't ever bother
It
me.
was-
I
it
always
looks a
think it's
little
weird.
weird
when they put people in them.
No, I need people to populate I need to picture where the people are standing, what they're doing. It helps me.
That's why they added it in there. It's got people now.
I'm saying. Anyway, so it opens this December. What date in December? No idea.
I am.
So
We'll have to have Samantha back on. I'm curious what the DVC crowd feels about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering what the demand, like, especially as a cash room only. Because you got to think,
Yeah.
what are these rooms going to run? I mean, they're 2-bedroom for the most. I mean, that's going to be, you're talking $700-800 a night, if not more.
oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, there's not even regular studios here.
Right.
It's just the duo studios, which, I mean, they price them still pretty high. I mean, I could see those with no discounts, no points or anything. I could see those still running at like in the 400s. It's a new building.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can see
I
that. And the 1-bedroom villas, I would be surprised if we saw 800 or above.
Right. And they've gone after the higher end market before. Like the bungalows a lot of times are
Yeah.
empty. Those things are not full all the time.
Yeah.
So I am curious as to the
yeah.
demand of this. And then, they haven't talked about points of like
Nope,
how much
they
that's going to
won't.
cost for points and things. So
Nope.
I don't have any doubt. Again, it looks nice. I don't much care for. I wasn't a big fan of where this went in to begin with, but that's it's whatever. It's done. I just I'll be curious as to like the pricing and just sort of like I want to go check it out and walk in
Sure.
there and stuff. but
Absolutely.
yeah. Again, I would have gone for a retro poly theme. I think that would look pretty awesome personally, but that's just me.
All right. Well, in the multiverse, maybe.
Oh, multiverse. All right. Well, that's it for the news this week, I believe.
Yes.
And Jamie already did her poll time.
I did in my poll time already.
So we're going to move on to the next segment,
Okie dokie.
which is our Animal Kingdom tier list. So if you're unfamiliar with what a tier list is, I'm not going to tell you. Okay,
That's
fine.
rude.
Okay, fine. I'll tell you.
Okay.
So it's a way of ranking things instead of just being like a top 10, because like there's no thought into that. Nobody cares about your top 8. It's just the top like 2 or 3, 1 through 3. So what we do with this is you have different categories. So the way in which we rank these is the top tier is the S tier, and that stands for super.
Or our most favorite. And we put all the categories, put all the attractions that we feel are the best, the superb, into this category.
Speak for yourself.
Okay.
Just don't lump me into your categories. I'm just kidding. So the S actually does stand for superb.
Superb.
That's what it stands for. Then you have the A tier, which is your ride every time. You have your B tier, which is your mid. C, which is skippable. D is someone will like it. And then F is just no. Nobody's going to like this. Burn it to the ground.
Okay.
That may
Yikes.
sound harsh to you,
It does sound harsh.
but
Sounds very harsh.
sometimes you burn things
Okay.
that need to be burned.
Okay,
I'm
Jared.
just saying. I know
Well,
that sounds intense, but I'm just saying. So,
all right. Well, I have already made my list because I like to be prepared.
of course you did.
Of
course you did. Every time we do this, I'm like, I'm going to go on the fly. And Jimmy's like, I have already researched everything that I'm going to do.
I have to be, if I'm not
Listen,
prepared, it makes me
no,
just nervous.
it's fine. It's just how
Okay.
you like. It's
That's
just
how
funny
I
how
am.
you are versus how I am about things. So,
How I am, bro.
all right, what's the first one you want to? tear up?
Just randomly.
What's first? You want to tear it up?
Tear it up, man. Let's start with Cali River Rapids.
Cali River Rapids, also known as the Lost River from Silver Dollar City,
Right.
back when I was a child.
If you're a Missourian or close to it or been there before, you know what we're talking about.
You
So
just dumped a lot of people in one.
a lot of people in there. So I put Cali River Rapids at C.
Well, it's a water ride,
It is a water ride.
and it's a water ride that gets you soaked.
Yeah. Should it be D? Should I put it in D?
It
I don't
depends on where
know.
you look at water rides like that. Like, personally speaking, I mean, there's very few times that I'm like, you know what? I want to get soaked when I'm at a theme park. Like, it's one thing if you're at a water park.
True.
But
yeah.
it's like when you're dealing with, you got like wet clay. It depends on the day. If it's like 100 degrees outside, that may be a different story. Granted, being in Animal Kingdom in the summer, sure. But it's like, other than that, at the very least, it's C.
I mean, this probably speaks to how I actually feel about it. When I went with my mom to Magic Kingdom, like a little bit ago, a week and a half ago, whenever it was,
You
2
mean
weeks
Animal
ago.
Kingdom?
Yeah. What did I say?
You said Magic Kingdom.
I meant Animal Kingdom. So sorry about that. At first, she was like, I want to ride Cali River Rapids. I'm like, do we have to? So, like, I really did not want to do it. So it's at least skippable for me.
I mean, I can put it. See, it's not that it's a terrible ride. I mean, it's a very simple ride. Just a
yeah.
raft ride to get you wet. It just
Yeah.
comes down to, do you want to get wet?
And you can spray other people from outside the ride. So
I
it's
hate
kind of
that.
I know you.
Like, other people can spray you. Is that what it is?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I always don't. I'm always. If people do that, I will find that person.
Okay.
Just saying.
All right.
How dare they?
Okay.
All right. So we're putting it at C.
I'll put it at C.
Okay. All right. What's the next one?
The next one, let's do Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond.
As a show, this is a good show. Again, it depends on where you want to put shows. This is a good one. They recently redid it, so it's newer. It's not as long as it used to be,
Right.
which is good because the old one was very long, very, very long.
Yep.
I mean, as show, I'm not a huge person on shows, but this one is a good show, so I would probably put it. At the very least, I'd put it at mid.
Yeah, I put it as B. Like, this is not a do every time for me. But I do enjoy it.
It's a
quite
good.
a
It's a
bit.
good production.
Yes.
It's not as good as another one on our list, but
Right.
it's solid,
Absolutely. So yeah, I think we both agree B.
and it's in the air conditioning, which
It
is nice.
It is in the air conditioning. It's so true about
Lends
that.
itself to some help there. So
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right. What's the next one?
That's easy. Let's do Navi River Journey.
Old Navi River. Let's see. This is one of those. Obviously, it's in Pandora. It's the other ride. It's not the
Right.
popular one. This is one. If it's 30-minute wait, I'm like, nah, I'm good. If it's a 15-minute wait, I'll be like,
Sure.
okay, sure.
Yep.
It's not a bad ride. It's just a very simple. It's pretty. It has cool features. It's got a really good animatronic. It's just very short, and
Yeah.
it's just you're just floating through water. Really, I mean, it's again, it's pretty. It's just
Yeah.
not very long, and there's not much to it.
I mean, I would stick this definitely into C or below. Because, and I've talked about this on the show before, so if you listen, you might hear me say this again. I can see, you see the things light up. You're going through this. You see I forgot the name of it, but the big animatronic, the one that's really good.
The shaman lady.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You see that, and it's really beautiful and great. But I don't feel like there's any kind of narrative at all. There's no story.
Yeah, it could. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that really bothers me, I think.
Well, especially
So-
because a lot of people going in there, I would again, Avatar is such a weird franchise. It makes all this money, but then it doesn't have any cultural impact. So a lot of people, like for instance, I don't remember anything from those movies.
Yeah.
Character names, and I vaguely remember it's like the somewhat of the storyline. So I feel like a ride like that needs a little narration to like tell a little bit of the story to give people an idea of sort of what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, Flight of Passage, which we'll talk about, does do that. That gives you like a whole story
Yeah.
when you're in that. Navi River doesn't. So yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna say it's at very least it's skippable.
Okay.
I don't think it's a
We'll see.
bad ride. It's just one
Right.
where because it's the other ride in the land, it'll get high wait times because if you can't get on Flight of Passage, you'll do this.
Right.
I just don't think it's worth anything more than like a 15, 20-minute wait.
Okay.
But you will
Yeah,
regularly see this for like 45, 60 minutes. Like I would
like,
completely
no.
skip it for that.
Absolutely. Yep. Okay. We'll just put it at C then.
Okay. All right. What's the next one?
Next one, Expedition Everest.
Well, it's a very I say very popular. It's a fan favorite coaster.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge roller coaster person, so I'm not going to like give my opinion on it too much, but I mean, it's got a lot of like it's exciting. It's got the Yeti.
It's very exciting.
It's got a lot of lore to it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I would say it's probably I feel like it would go A tier.
So this would be an A for me.
Yeah.
I put this as an A. I rode this finally again with my mom last week or whatever it was. And we had the best time. And I didn't get like super dizzy or sick this time, which is great. Knock on wood, wherever the wood is. And it's just a great ride. The part where you go backwards, the part where the track is like missing, the Yeti, all of it, you know. I have no complaints about this ride. It's great. We only waited, 15 minutes for it, but like having a single rider line is good. So like,
I gotta say the wait times for this don't get too high usually. I mean, they can.
But
sometimes you can find, especially like you wait later in the evening, like before the park closes. You usually like a lot of times you can just rewrite this thing over and over again.
Yeah. Oh, you can get some good views up there too at night.
Yeah.
Or during the day too, but like some great views.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would put this in A. Are you cool with A?
Yeah, that's what I said. Hey.
Okay.
Right. By the way,
All right.
there's wood literally right in front of you that you're touching.
I did knock. I knocked
yeah, but you
on
said
a little
wherever
bit.
wood is.
I know, and then I looked down. I was like, oh, there's wood.
It's right there in front of you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, what's the next one?
So the next one is Up, A Great Bird Adventure. Or the Up Show, or whatever you call it.
Yeah, it used to be the Feathered Friends of Flight. Now it's the Up Show. This one used to be, I used to enjoy this. It's birds doing things, which birds freak me out.
Birds doing things.
Birds, I'm good with, like, I don't need birds swooping in on me. You never know, a rogue bird's going to go, rogue on you.
Mm-hmm.
When they redid this, it wasn't as good. And if you remember correctly, this has had many, many redos. Like, they brought in, like, comedians and writers to redo this show at least once or twice. And it's an odd one because you have the Up characters like in full costume doing, like, they tried to put an IP in here that didn't need to be an IP in here. So I think it was better than it used to be. I personally would put it at Someone Will Like It. I don't think it's really that enjoyable anymore. Like, I really like the old one, but now it's just sort of weird. At least the last time I saw it. I don't know if I've seen it. I think we saw it after they redid it one of the times, but I think it's been multiple times they've done that.
We saw it in 2018 when they debuted all the Up stuff. So yeah. Oh, so I'll say D2. I've seen it once and I don't really care to do it. I mean, like, it's fine to do like one time. It's like, okay, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I'm not really much again for like any of the flying bird shows. I'm good.
Yes.
Personally speaking, but all right, what's the next one?
Let's do Avatar, Flight of Passage.
This probably is the easiest slam dunk on all of them. It's an S tier. I mean, it's a fantastic ride.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And they fixed a little. They were having like the 3D was getting kind of blurry, and they did some adjustments to it, so it looks better now.
Well, remember me telling you why it got blurry?
No,
it was the 3D. It was the glasses.
The glasses.
So the issue they were running into with this was they have a reserve of obviously, like, you hand out glasses to people. Eventually, some of those glasses are going to go bad. And plastic has it like gets a film and gets scratches and stuff. So what had happened was they had gone through all of the reserve to where all the 3D glasses were like scratched a little bit.
Oh,
so I think what I had heard is they didn't want to spend the money to buy new glasses because they'd actually approached Imagineering about making this ride no longer 3D.
Jeez.
And Imagineering basically told them, like, you don't want to do that. You'll have a bunch of people being sick. Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing they either adjusted something on the ride itself or they probably just bought new 3D glasses because I think that was the whole thing is they just needed different 3D glasses. And I remember being a few times I rode it, it was looking blurry. Yeah. So they could have done both, but yeah.
They could have done both, yeah.
Outside of that, it's a great ride. It's very unique. Like, you're on essentially a breathable steed.
Okay.
When
Yes.
it breathes, it goes in and
It's
out.
a banshee.
It's a steed.
Yes.
It's a steed. Okay.
Oh, okay, Jared.
Mount
All
your
right.
steed and go. But
Okay.
All right. What's
Anyway,
next?
it's amazing. We love it.
S tier. There we go. All
S tier.
right. What's next one?
Let's do Festival of the Lion King.
Shows go. It's better than Nemo, which probably automatically puts it at an A.
I would say A.
I'm not a big show person, but this is a good show and has been consistently good for a long time.
Yes.
So I would say A. And
Yes.
Lion King is awesome.
Yes.
So yeah, I think A tier. It's probably the best on property. It's probably the best show they have.
I think it is.
Yeah.
It's wildly entertaining.
Wildly entertaining.
Wildly.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I put it at A. I wouldn't put it at S.
No.
Just because it's not something I would do every single time I go into the park. I mean, I guess I would if I was there for longer, but I would literally go into Animal Kingdom just to ride Flight of Passage and then leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's the Lion King.
Well, I'll put it this way: is it a ride where you would go to that park by itself? Yeah, and I think that's good
Yeah.
criteria for S. And I
Yeah.
agree. I wouldn't do that. I guess I think more people would maybe do Expedition Everest for just that reason over Lion King.
Yes, but it's more of an intense ride,
sure,
so that's
yeah.
why I didn't put it.
Yeah.
So,
No, I agree. I was
yeah.
just saying I agree with what you were saying.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was saying. So
Okay.
all right, what's the next one?
So I'm gonna lump these together because there's a lot of them. So I'm just gonna put animal exhibits.
F.
Jared,
What?
stop. I'm gonna put animal exhibits. Now again, let's keep this in mind. This is us. This is our opinion, and this is our least favorite park. So our answers are probably not gonna be the same as someone's that is their favorite park. Let's just say that.
If this is your way of trying to appease people, I am not in that ballpark. My opinions are my opinions.
Okay. So the animal exhibits,
Jamie's being nice. I'll put it this way. I've said it many times. I'm not against zoos existing. I'm not against animals being there. I just don't care much to see them. When someone goes, "Oh my gosh, look at that lion," I'm like, he looks like he's sleeping. Like, good for him. I don't get much enjoyment out of it. I don't get much thrill out of it.
That's interesting. Why?
I'm assuming my ancestors hunted them, and they were just.
Oh my
gosh! I'm just unimpressed by them.
Are you an elephant poacher?
Am I, or was my ancestors?
Your
I don't know
ancestors.
what they did. I wasn't around. But
Oh
anyways,
gosh.
I don't know. No, when it comes to yes, it's cool to see like a giraffe up close. I'm like, oh, that's cool, and like to see things. But in terms of, for instance, I've said this story before. Like we went to the San Diego Zoo years ago, which price gouge. But by the way, we went there. And I was just like, okay, it's fine. Like, I'm not against these things. Like, I think it's cool. Like, hey, learn more about animals. But for me personally, I don't get much enjoyment out of zoos.
Okay.
So for that reason, I don't get much enjoyment out of animal exhibits personally.
Okay.
So
All right.
that's
fair
just
enough.
me. So for me, at the very least, someone will like it. It's just not me. I'm willing to do that. My F was maybe just for a little bit of effect.
I mean, I would put it more in like B or C.
I can compromise on C.
We're compromising on C. Okay. All right.
Just know where I stand.
All right. And this includes all the trails too, like in the exhibits and the trails, because there's so many, so you can't.
I
do
love
each one.
going on trails at theme parks.
Okay.
It's my favorite thing. Hey, you want to go to a theme park on a trail? Do I?
Okay.
Let's do that. I'm sorry. I'm being very facetious,
You are being facetious.
but I'm just being honest. all I
Let's
can be.
do Triceratops spin.
Our children really like it.
I really do.
It is like the 5th different type of Dumbo ride they have. It's
I
a very simple.
can't.
It's a spinner ride.
I put this at D. Somebody's gonna like it, but it's not me.
Well, someone will like it. We put a lot of kids rides here. Someone will like it
Yeah.
being kids. So
Just-
for us, it would be a D. For our kids, it would probably be like a B or an A.
probably
That's
they
what they
love
would
it.
put it.
They love it.
But again, this thing is like in the sun.
Oh, it's so hot.
There is no. I mean, granted, none of these really have any shade, but man, Animal Kingdom has always seems so much hotter. But if you ride this thing like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it just feels like the sun is
Yes.
beating on your face, and
Yes.
it doesn't make a lot of sense. I guess this goes to like, will this be around? Because Dino Land more than likely is going to have
Yeah.
some changes.
Yeah.
So this probably is not going to be around very long. But it also doesn't make a lot of sense because you have a Triceratops spin dinosaur-based ride with 50s music playing.
Well, it's the era that it's supposed to be from.
Right, I get
Okay,
it.
all
But
right.
my whole point of Dino Land is it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Okay, great.
That's what kind of it's fair.
It makes me think of Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
It does.
There again, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie, but I have a glimpse of like a giant dinosaur. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
Like a statue of a big dinosaur. It made me think of that. And I think, doesn't that take place earlier? I don't know.
I never
Anyway.
really liked Pee-wee that much.
Okay.
I just remember he was like,
let's
ha
not-
ha.
Okay.
That's all I remember.
Well, that's not the point. But anyway, okay.
Okay. I don't remember. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Let's move on to the next one then. I don't know where we put Pee-wee though.
I don't know.
Probably D tier.
Okay.
Someone will like it. Go on. What's the next one?
The next one. Let's do, since we're still in Dino Land, let's keep going with that. Let's do the Boneyard. That's the kids' playground area. Technically, not a super. I don't know. It's kind of an attraction.
It's an attraction for kids.
Okay.
It's a nightmare for parents.
Right. So, I know where you would put it.
I loathe this thing for one simple reason. You cannot see your children. Now, our daughter being like 7 years old, I don't really worry about her as much now. As our son gets older, I don't. But when he was like 2 or 3, and then when our daughter was like 3 or 4, I've never liked this place because you can go up, you can go down, and they can. Now, when you go across, you have the area where you can like dig out the bones.
The digs. So yeah.
But you can exit down there too, right?
No.
You can't.
You can't exit
Okay,
over
I
there.
thought you could. Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
But your kids could be just anywhere, and you're down below, and having one entrance and exit right there, the main one. I thought maybe you could on the other side. Maybe you always
I don't
couldn't.
think so.
But having that main area there is nice. But I just don't like the fact of like it's like you were talking about with Five O's Playhouse over the old Kids Land and Universal Studios. You don't have an eye line of your kids.
Yes, that is.
And depending on their age. Like again, our daughter at this point, I don't really worry about her. But yeah, I for little kids, I don't like it as much.
Well, and two, like our son, I think if we yelled for him, he would yell back, or at least
He would
go
now.
into view.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, you're right. When he was like, even as early as last year, he probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But I think he would now. Where would you put this?
I mean,
by the way?
it's not like we can ride this or
Well,
do
do
much.
it,
For
yeah.
parents, like I think the plus side is there is a beer cart not far from this. So I guess you could just have a beer and hang out.
But I think it's a cute little place.
It's a cute
I think
idea. It's a cute idea, and I'm sure kids will love it.
They
like
love
it's this tall
it.
climb area. So from a kid's perspective, it probably is like an A or a B.
Yeah.
Our kids love this thing. So and you'll see.
Where are you putting it then?
I mean, again, for us, it's going to be like a D or an F. But again, it's not for us. So from like a kid's perspective, I guess put it a B at least.
Yeah, I'd say B. I think it's adorable.
Okay.
And with the dig site on the other side of the bridge, it's a big area, and I think it's a great place for them to get out some wiggles.
Well, the
So-
play area there is nice because it is at least covered over there.
It is covered,
So
and you can sit.
The only downside is it's a bunch of gravel.
Yeah, but that's not as big of a deal because it just comes right out of your shoes. It's not sand.
True.
You know?
That's a true point. But yeah,
True.
I would say if you can get your kids to stay over there, that's a problem. Our son will go over there and I'm like, oh, he's going to sit for a minute. And you sit down and then he just gets up and starts running the other side. You're like, oh my gosh, I got to go back. And it's like a whole thing.
Again, he's a little older now.
No, I know,
Not
but
as
like kids
bad.
in general just do that. They just like, get up and down and then like it's a long, like you got to go over, it's a long walk to get over there.
Right.
So
yeah,
for parents, it's you're just chasing after kids the whole time. So
that's true.
yeah. All right, what's the next one?
The next one is dinosaur. Let's do dinosaur.
You like this one more than I do.
I sure do.
For me, it's skippable.
Okay.
I've always felt like I like the story of this. The pre-show is one of those like inside joke things that people like. I've always just felt like this ride is just dark and jostles you, and then a dinosaur yells at you at some point. That's it. Like
Yeah.
I just like I can't see much.
Yeah.
I'm being jostled about. I don't know what's going on, and then a T-Rex yells at me, and then they're like, "You're not gonna make it." Then you make it. Like that's my takeaway from it. But what about for you?
Okay. I love it because it is cheesy. I love the cheesiness. I think the story is funny.
And the story is funny.
You're right though. It jostles you. Just back, left, right, left, and it's chaos. But I like it. I guess I don't know. I put it at B. That's me though.
We can put it at B.
Okay, I've always enjoyed it. So
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about riding it. I just don't like if it's going to be like a 30 minutes or more wait. I wouldn't want to wait that long.
yes, we waited about 23, which was last time.
That's acceptable.
Okay.
All right. What's the next one?
Let's do Kilimanjaro safaris.
Kilimanjaro. We have a great shirt based on this ride. You can go find it at ctmapparelco.com.
Good job.
Promo code Safari to save 20%. This is for what it is, a looking at animals ride. It's very unique. I do like that if I am going to look at animals, take me in a car so I can just drive by them and see them. I like how that happens. And you get kind of closer to them that way. You're not just behind like a glass. It's very unique. There's no other ride that, at Disney for sure. And most of the theme parks like it.
Yeah.
So I think for that I'd probably put it at A.
I probably put an A too. I wouldn't put it at S.
No, I don't think it's an S
personally. But A, I would put it at A.
I would agree with A.
Yeah. I feel like
it's unique. Like you'll see something different every time you do it.
Absolutely.
And I've been on it at night. You can't see much at night, but it is kind of different. It's unique to do it then.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But usually first thing in the morning is the best time to do this.
Yes. It is.
Yeah.
Still is. Yeah.
All right, next one.
The next one is the conservation station, or I guess we'll just talk about Rafiki's Planet Watch because that encompasses petting zoo, conservation station, animation experience, all that stuff. So
I enjoy the animation experience. The other stuff over here, I mean, it's okay. I think the biggest takeaway from this, or the biggest, I guess, drawback to this is you got to go way out of your way to do this.
Yeah.
You're probably going to have to at least take an hour out of your day to go do this because you do have, you got to take the train over, which the train is cool. It's very themed and like a lot of that area. But I would say the biggest draw here was probably animation experience. So I would probably put this at C.
Okay.
Skippable. I enjoy it, but it's definitely not a do every time type thing.
Yeah.
And again, you really have to want to go over here. So I think for most people, like a lot of people have come here a lot and haven't even been over there. Like in terms of come to Animal Kingdom a lot, haven't been over to Rafiki's Planet Watch too much.
Yeah. And I feel like, you're right. The commute over there is a kind of a hassle. And if you miss the train, it takes a few minutes for it to come back. And I get it. So, but the animation experience is really cool. I've done it a couple times and I really like it. But yeah, it's definitely skippable for me.
Yeah. All right. I think we put it at C there.
Okay.
All right. What's the next one?
Well, the last one on our list is It's Tough to Be a Bug.
I would say that's a pretty easy F for me. I don't enjoy this one. I haven't done this in years. I don't think most kids enjoy it. I mean, some kids do, but it's a little intense for littles, I think. I enjoyed the movie Tough to Be a Bug more than I would do this ride. But again, this is one that's probably going to get replaced here in the near future. So
it's true.
But I think I personally would put it at an F. I haven't done this in years.
I didn't put it at F. I put it at D. Because there are parts of it that are cute, but I don't like the bee stinging on my butt.
I hate that. I hate that stuff and the snake stuff and
no, it's not snake. It's spiders.
Sorry, spiders
that come down from the ceiling. I hate that.
I'm good without that. I don't need that. I'm good.
The thing that the below your feet, that's like running back and forth. Ooh.
Yeah.
Don't like any of that.
Yeah.
So, the interactive part, I'm sure some kids like, but for the most part, like, I don't think our daughter liked it. When she did it, she was younger. She hated it.
I don't think I was with you when you did that.
Maybe not, but yeah, it was not a great experience. And like, it's just one of those things where like, we get it. We get why some people like it, but for us, it's a D for sure. For sure a D. But Jared would put it at F.
I mean, when I'm on that thing, I'm just like,
all right, who did this? I'm not mad. I just want to know who did it so I can punish them.
I mean,
but I am actually mad.
You are really mad.
That's a lie. I'm actually mad. But yeah. All right. Well, that's our tier list on all 5 attractions at Animal Kingdom. I'm kidding. Animal Kingdom doesn't have a lot of attractions. They do need some more stuff, so hopefully they will announce some stuff this year coming. But
Do you want to read what they are?
I don't, but I will.
Okay.
All right. Our list here is in the S tier. We have Flight of Passage. In the A tier, we have Expedition Everest, Festival of the Lion King, and Kilimanjaro Safaris. In the B tier, we have The Nemo Show, The Boneyard, and Dinosaur. In the C tier, we have Cali River Rapids. We have Navi River Journey. We have kind of all the animal stuff you can go do. And then Rafiki's Planet Watch in there. And then in D, we have Tough to Be a Bug, Triceratops Spin, and the Up Bird Show goes there. We had nothing in the F tier.
Nothing in the F.
I mean, I did, but us combined, we did not. So there we go. That is our tier list for Animal Kingdom. Yeah, so that'll do it for the show. If you agree or disagree with us, you can voice your opinion over on Instagram's a good place to do it. You know, let us know because we'll post a show clip there, but you also join the Capture the Magic Facebook community. And if you want to discuss things or, get questions about trips coming up and things like that for Disney or Universal, it's a great place to do it. Or comment on the show. Also, great place to do it. We see that stuff and interact and everything like that. So you can do that there. You can also be sure to check us out on all the other social medias. Like, again, Instagram. Everything's Cap the Magic except for TikTok where we are at Capture the Magic. And all that good stuff. We have other shows on the network. We have the CTM Universal show. We talk about Universal Studios about twice a month.
Okay.
Got one coming out on Monday. I'm sure we're going to talk about DreamWorks Land. Stuff was announced. And other things of that nature. So, yeah, check it over there. We have on this feed and its own feed as well if you'd like your Universal content to be separate. And then Jamie also has Trip Tales, which is her trip report show.
Yes.
And when's the next one they're coming out?
We had some scheduling conflicts, but it should be out this coming Monday. I hope I can get it out by then. But yeah, it should be coming out Monday.
Okay. And again, if you want more content, head to ctmvip.com, Club 32 to check that out. And you can always check out the shirts, ctmapparelco.com. Use the promo code Safari, get you 20% off for a very limited time. And then if you want to check out the candles as well, 1901candleco.com. So, all right. Well, that'll do it for the show. So thank you, everybody, for listening and or watching. And thank you, Jamie, for joining us.
Thank you.
And as Jamie always likes to say,
we will see you in the parks.
Bye.